Fighting between Baloch Liberation Army and Pakistani forces continues. The BLA has launched the second phase of Operation Harof across multiple districts in Balochistan. After coordinated high-intensity attacks, the spotlight has shifted to two women, Asifa Mengal and Hawa Baloch. For decades, Baloch women were seen as mourners waiting for missing sons, brothers and husbands. Now they are at the heart of insurgency and of a new public narrative. The BLA has elevated them as symbols of resistance. Their rise signals a shift. Attacks are no longer just about force. They are about identity, visibility and messaging. Aman Kumar Himanshu has more on this.
In Balochistan, women bury the dead. They wait for sons who never return. They protest silently for husbands who vanish. They stand outside military camps, clutching photographs. For decades, they have waited for answers that never arrive. But this time, the women were not waiting. They were part of the attack. Last week, Balochistan witnessed one of the most coordinated military offensives in recent years. Fighters belonging to the Balochistan Liberation Army carried out attacks across at least 12 locations, targeting security forces, police posts and civilian infrastructure. At least 50 security personnel and civilians were dead, in what the group described as a message to the Pakistani state. What drew the most attention was not the scale of the violence, but the faces behind it. Soon after the attacks, the Balochistan Liberation Army released images of two of the attackers. Both were women, Asifa Mengal and Hawa Baloch. They carried out the attacks on symbols of Pakistan's authority in the Restif province. In a video footage, the attacker, Hawa Baloch, was seen firing at Pakistani security forces during Phase 2 of the BLA's Operation Harof at the Gwadar front. BLA said that Hawa Baloch fought selflessly, shoulder to shoulder with fellow Fidain, a term the group uses to refer to suicide attackers. In a video, Hawa Baloch addressed the camera directly, urging the Baloch nation to rise. She said, "There is no other way left for the Baloch people." Alongside Hawa Baloch, Asifa Mengal, a 24-year-old, joined the BLA's elite Majid Brigade after her 21st birthday, volunteering last year for a suicide mission. The group asserted that she played a crucial role in an attack on the Inter-Services Intelligence Facility in Nushki. For decades, armed resistance in Balochistan followed traditional lines, with men fighting and women left to mourn and protest. That order has broken down under the weight of enforced disappearances, repeated military operations, and the erosion of tribal structures. As men were killed, jailed, or even went missing, women stepped into the public space, first as protesters and now in some cases as fighters. Analysts argue that this shift reflects changing times as much as changing tactics. Increased access to education, social media and political awareness has transformed how Baloch women understand both resistance and agency. What began as a silent protest gradually evolved into a more confrontational challenge to the state's authority.
Now it has evolved, from a tribal insurgent struggle to a middle-class urban movement, which has seen inclusion of women as well. These insurgents, the young generation belongs to Gen Z, Gen Alpha. They are social media savvy. They have crafted a narrative. They believe in it.
This is not the first time that women fighters of Balochistan Liberation Army have come into focus. In recent years, women from Baloch ethnic minority have increasingly appeared in suicide attacks, unsettling Pakistan's security establishment. In April 2022, Shari Baloch, a 30-year-old mother of two with a master's degree, detonated herself outside the university in Karachi. The attack killed 3 Chinese nationals and a Pakistani driver. A year later, in June 2023, a second attack took place. Sumaya Baloch carried out a suicide attack on a military convoy in Turbat. Prominent activist Dr. Maharang Baloch co-founded the Baloch Yakheti Committee following a series of abuses against her family and the wider Baloch community. She entered the Baloch rights movement after her father was abducted in 2007 and again in 2009. allegedly by Pakistani security forces. Last year, Mahrang was detained by Pakistani authorities during a sit-in in Quetta. Since then, her family's access has been restricted, despite calls for her release from human rights groups and fighters including Amnesty International, Malala Yousafzai and UN experts. She remains in detention under harsh conditions. Pakistan has responded to the Baloch resistance with an iron fist, making dissent increasingly rare. Enforced disappearances of activists have become commonplace. The disappearance and arrests are part of a broader campaign of repression. The state is attempting to criminalize peaceful resistance by labeling activists as terrorists and linking them to militant groups without evidence. This tactic is not new. The federal government has engaged in similar repressive actions against the ethnic groups in Pakistan, including Sindhis, Pashtuns, and Kashmiris. However, the case of Baloch is particularly severe because Balochistan is heavily militarized with limited media access and international oversight. Balochistan is the largest and the most resource-rich province in Pakistan. It is also the poorest. For decades, the Pakistani state has treated the province as a colony, exploiting its resources while suppressing its people. To enforce its control, the government set up police and military bases to kidnap and even kill dissidents. It has long witnessed an insurgency led by separatist groups demanding greater autonomy or independence. The BLA is among the most prominent of these groups and is designated a terrorist organization by Pakistan and several other countries. Despite repeated military crackdowns, the BLA continues to receive notable civilian support. Baloch women have become the state's newest targets, but they are refusing to be silenced. Their movement has grown from dozens to thousands, spreading from Balochistan to cities like Karachi and Islamabad. They are demanding justice for their families, dignity and rights for the Baloch people, and a future where speaking out is not punished and no community is erased. Aman Kumar Himanshu's report for DD India.